dream come true. And the next step is the fifth step, that is imagination. Imagination, again we can talk about that the two type of the imagination are there. One is synthetic imagination and second is creative imagination. Usually all the people, I'm not saying all the people, the most of the people, they are using synthetic imagination. It is to gather the ideas which are already existing in the world. It may be the same idea was used by many of the people, and we are having that idea in our mind, and after that we may add our own imagination to that. We are taking the idea of someone else, but we are adding our knowledge to that, and we are making this innovative idea. We are making it a better idea to work on that. So we are planning for that. We are gathering already existing ideas. So it may be that we are having a holiday trip, and as many people have already visited those places, we can get their ideas. How did they manage to stay there? What was the cost of their living there? What were the tourist places there? And what could they see? Or how they could enjoy? What were the places to stay there? So these are all the synthetic knowledge we can easily gather, and most of the people are doing the same. And after that, which is very sensitive, the creative imagination. Creative imagination is the sixth sense, what I can say. So very less people in the world are the creators. So they utilize their creative knowledge. Otherwise, every person has this imagination in his mind, but the people do not utilize that. As the people, they are working for the fixed timings, that is 9 to 5, they tune their subconscious mind to work for that. So that's the reason the subconscious mind never open the chapter of the creative imagination, because this is not used, this is not required. So this is often left with very few people of the world, which make something new and work on that, become successful afterward. So Napoleon Hill could be one of them. Secondly, Thomas Alva Edison could be one of the list of these people. The sixth step is again very important: organize the planning. To run any big company, this step is most important part, because while working in a big organization, people often have conflicts. They do not agree on the same point, and the organizers have to solve these problems by bringing them all on the same platform. But as they have to face many problems here, so to become successful, one does not have to give up. One has to keep on working on their ideas, to keep on working on their work or the plan. So but it must be kept in mind that whatsoever the plans they are making, this should be according to the needs of the customers, because the main thing is to make the customers happy. If you will be having the market, only then you will be successful. So any idea which is to be made, it should be fixed in the mind according to the need, according to the requirement of the customers. And after that, we can say that we can focus on the quality and the quantity. So quantity could be anywhere, but when you are working in a big organization, you should have that much quantity that should feed the people on their demand. And the quality, obviously it should be the best. There should not be any compromise at the level of the quality of the product, because any person who becomes successful in his life is due to his content or his quality of his product. And this after that, what I would like to add here is the good services. When the person has a good intention, he is having good spirit, so he will definitely give the good services to the people. And to make the good quality or to provide the good quality to the customers, one may ask few questions to himself. So first of all, how was my services? He may get the feedback from the customers also. How can I give better services? And third is, how were my relationships with my team members? Because as I explained this earlier, having good relationships or the harmonious atmosphere at the workplace is very, very important to give best quality to the customers. After that, how much time I wasted unnecessarily on the useful things, so that this time should not be wasted in future. So then what mistakes I did, and a person has to learn important lessons from his mistakes to become successful in his life. And the seventh step which goes towards the riches, explained by Napoleon Hill, was decision. All successful people have formed decisions. They do not change their decision. Once they start working on that, they are formed to the decision. As I am quoting the example of Thomas Alva Edison again and again. He was unsuccessful 10,000 times, but he did not change his decision to make or to ignite the bulb, and that's the reason he is known even today after his death, approximately many years or the centuries of his death. He is still remembered and memorized for his contribution to the world. Where the unsuccessful people, they keep on changing their ideas again and again, so they change their decisions, and they do not remain fixed on the single decision. So this is one of the worst part, the weakest part of the unsuccessful people. Here I won't say that changing decision is always harmful, but one should have proper planning for what he wants in the future, or any decision when it is made, something good should be there when he is changing his decision. So if the decision is changed for something good, it is always appreciated. So if a person has a burning desire and work on this continuously, and he plans according to that, and he has a firm decisions for that, obviously success is waiting for him. And the eighth step of Napoleon Hill towards the riches is persistence. Persistence means never give up. So it is that successful people do not give up on the way till that time they get success. They keep on trying. And there is a very good example here. This was King Bruce and the spider. King Bruce learned an important lesson from the small spider, that as the spider was successful after the 9 failures of its life, similarly Bruce felt ashamed that he left his army, he left his kingdom, and he's just spending his time in a den in a very remorseful manner. He learned this important message of success from the failures of tiny spider, gathered his strength, and after that it was his persistence that he did not give up afterwards and became successful. He regained his energy, his power, his kingdom, his people, his army, and everything was back in his hands. So similarly, the people who keep on trying till the time they do not get success, and they, despite of having numerous failures in their life, ultimately they get success in their life. And this is a very, very important message, a lesson for the people who are working for the success, who have the burning desire to get successful in their life, that they should not get